know it's early, but those guys that were here for bowl practices in December, just kind of where have you seen them grow? How valuable was that experience? And has anybody kind of stood out so far?
Are you talking about the young guys?
Yeah,
that have got
early.
here? Yeah. You know, it's funny you say that. You know, it feel like we've had these guys for a little over a year at this point. I think it's been great. You know, you can see the guys, their recall is a lot better than obviously when they first got here. They've gotten acclimated, you know, with their teammates. I think they're a lot more comfortable. So far so good. You know, obviously we get a chance to play football again, but the off season was really good for those guys, and I think it was because of the bowl prep.
Adam?
What more can James Pearce do? And also, in addition to that, like we saw him drop into coverage in Citrus Bowl, obviously with pick six. Is that something that you guys did more with him late in the year, or will you do more with him in that?
Yeah, I think we have a system that, you know, we're able to showcase, you know, any of our players' skill set, and he's no different. We think the sky's the limit for him. You know, obviously he was just a sophomore. I think he's just scratching the surface on how good he can be. You know, he's extremely versatile. As you said, you know, everyone's alluding to the pick six that he had, but he's shown that in practice. You know, he's got really good drop skills and ball awareness. So, you know, we can all get better. You know, I think James would be the first one to tell you it's a lot of room for improvement on his end. And the good news is, you know, he's working extremely hard right now to, you know, take another step.
Patrick, then Brent.
Coach, one of you talked about the new guys. One of those new guys, Spook Carter, who was really good with the football in his hands on offense, returning kicks in high school. Did you have to win sort of a battle with the other coaches to get him in your group and on defense? And what do you think? How do you think his skill set translates to where you guys want to play him?
Yeah, you know, we like to score touchdowns too. So, you know, hopefully we can get the ball in his hands as well. Yeah, you know, obviously Coach Hype was super excited to, you know, to get him. You know, we know he's very versatile. There's a lot of different things that he can do. You know, right now he's concentrating on defense and, you know, trying to win some playing time or win a job. And he's been good so far. You know, it's a lot as a freshman, as you know, but I think, again, you know, getting him early, you know, getting a chance to get acclimated has really helped him. But obviously, as we continue to put more on his plate, you know, we'll see how he progresses. But right now, I'm super excited about him. You know, we love his skill set, his athleticism, his toughness. But, you know, we feel the same way about a lot of the younger guys.
Is that star position maybe harder for a freshman than corner or safety, or how do kind of they compare as the learning curve?
Yeah, I don't know. I think they all have, you know, a certain level of, you know, toughness to it in terms of what they have to learn and have to be able to take to the field. But playing star, you know, playing the field safety, boundary safety, it's all the same. You got to be able to communicate. You know, you got to be able to take it, digest it, and be able to articulate it. So we have some guys that, you know, are helping him learn that. But, you know, we're never going to try to tie up his mind. You know, we're going to try to give him the ability to play as fast as he can. And, you know, we'll do what we need to do schematically to help him and, you know, the rest of those guys.
Coach, year 4 here for you in this system. What's the goal for this defense this spring? What are your top 2 or 3 priorities to accomplish?
Yeah, you know, you always try to identify, you know, where you can improve. You know, the thing that's always interesting, you know, it's a new group, you know, so where, you know, you might have had some liabilities and you had to play a certain way to help some guys, you know, showcase what they can do to help the defense. You know, we're kind of learning that this spring with all the newcomers and what their strengths are and how we can, you know, make sure we're playing to their strengths. But, you know, overall, you know, we obviously want to be a little bit better, you know, in the low red zone. You know, that's one of the things we identified that we think we can be better. We like our scheme. You know, we just got some things that we obviously need to be able to tweak and help us grow in that way. But, I mean, it's a long list of things, no different than we talked about James. You know, every year we're trying to grow and get a little bit better defensively. But, you know, we'll know a little bit more about our personnel, and then we'll obviously make the adjustments moving forward.
Wes?
Obviously, turnover is kind of a part of the deal in college football. You only get these guys for a certain amount of time, but losing so many veterans in 1 year in the secondary with some new voices back there, in terms of getting everyone lined up, communication, how do you feel like that process is going out, and do you have guys speaking up and helping that process?
Yeah, guys are working through it. You know, we try to be mindful, no different than every year. You know, putting guys in different situations to make them be more vocal. But obviously, you know, we lost a lot of veterans back there. But you know, between Dre and you know, Dre played a lot, to be honest, toward the end of the year. And you know, we thought he did some really good things. So we're excited about him. But yeah, it'll be a transition. You know, but at the same time, I know we're super excited about it because we feel like we got some really good young talent. We feel like we got some older guys starting to hit their stride, And obviously we've got a couple transfers, so you know, we think the sky's the limit back there.
Brent?
Yeah, Coach, there's a lot of talk about, you know, the helmet communication for the offensive guys and coordinators being able to talk to quarterbacks, repertoires. As a defensive guy, what do you want to experiment with that this spring, and how beneficial do you think it can be for a defensive coordinator to communicate on the field with players, particularly against the no-huddle offense?
Yeah, I think, you know, just like anything, you know, time will tell, you know, but we do see some opportunities there. You know, sometimes, you know, you may see something and you want to relay it, you haven't had that ability, you know, until now. So we're kind of working our way through it, but we do think it can be some advantages taken there. But to tell you exactly what they are right this second, you know, it's hard. Today was just our second day, you know, really messing with it, you know, getting used to my voice, not saying too much, not saying too little. You're kind of working through it that way. You got to understand, can he take what you're saying, be able to make battlefield decisions? Who is that guy? So I think there is a lot of moving parts, but, you know, I do think it's good for football, and, you know, we're excited about the opportunity.
Eric, then Rick.
Kind of going back to that revamp secondary, I know it's a, you know, it's a different league and a new team, new system and all that, but you do bring in a guy, Jacoby Thomas, has played a lot of football. How important is that?
Yeah, it's been great so far. You know, he is a guy that's played a lot of football, which leads to him having a lot of confidence, and you know, he's really fit in with the room. You know, the guys like him. You know, he's a big body kid, you know, who runs well, he's extremely smart. So we're excited he's here. You know, we think he's going to be a great addition to us.
Tim, just what do you see from William Inge, and how does he sort of fit on this defensive staff?
Yeah, William's been great. You know, he brings a wealth of experience, you know, coaching, you know, at every level. And, you know, he's been good. You know, the biggest thing for me is, you know, him and the relationship that he has with our guys, because that's what it is, you know, building relationships. And, man, he hit the ground running. You know, the guys love him. He's a great teacher, you know, just a great personality. And, you know, we really hit the jackpot with him, so I'm excited he's here.
Ryan?
Coming off that injury back in the fall, what's Keenan Peely able to do this spring? Is he going to be still limited a little bit?
He's working through right now, you know, so we obviously want to be smart with him, but, you know, he's out there, he's taking reps, and, you know, it's important for us to knock the rust off, but, you know, obviously we want to get him to Saturdays. But so far so good. You know, we're just kind of working him back in. You know, we don't, I wouldn't say he's going to take 100 of the snaps, but he's definitely going to take his lion's share of it, and, you know, we're excited for him.
So sort of following up on that, the other linebackers, and obviously Elijah, Ariana kind of picked up too. So is it a big spring for some of those younger guys to get more reps?
Yeah, you know, T-Lander, Jalen, you know, those guys that have been here, Perry, you know, those guys are going to have a great opportunity in front of them. And, you know, again, it's only been 2 days, you know, but you can already start to see the maturity and the growth in those guys, you know, from year 1 to year 2 and from year 2 to year 3 with some of them. So, but yeah, unfortunately, some of those guys will be limited a little bit during spring, but obviously those young guys, as we talked about, you know, I think it'll be a great opportunity for them.
Just on the same note with Keenan, how big is it to have a guy with so much experience back when you have a new position coach there?
Yeah, I think it's big. You know, obviously, again, not being able to play as much football as he wanted to last year was tough. But at the same time, he was around. You know, he got a chance to build with his teammates and build a chemistry. So I know all those guys were excited to see him back out on the field. And obviously, bringing in Coach Inge and those guys getting on the same page in a hurry has been beneficial as well.
Caleb?
How nice is it to have a veteran like Amari Thomas on that interior defensive line? What do you expect from that group this spring?
Yeah, you know, again, I think we should really have the best defensive line in the country. You know, I feel really good about our depth that we're building. I feel really strongly about, you know, their attitude and the determination that those guys have played with. You know, and again, I'm not even talking as much about football, just great guys. You know, they're great human beings, and, you know, they've really worked hard. And, you know, as coaches, we want to see guys develop and reach their full potential. You know, and being able to see these guys, you know, go from year 1 to where they are right now, you know, has been huge, and, you know, we're super excited about those guys.
Brent?
What do you think you are with competition at corner? I know it's 2 days in, but going back through what you did last month, where do you feel like your depth is at corner? How competitive do you expect that position to be between now and through training camp at all?
Yeah, I think it's going to be highly competitive. You know, right now we're moving guys around. You know, you obviously send the first group out there, you know, the first rep, but then from there you're just kind of moving guys around and, you know, putting them in different positions with different people, I should say. So it's going to be competitive, but if I'm being honest, that's at every position. No different at linebacker. I just talked about our D-line and the depth that we have there. You know, it's a lot of guys who would love to run out there first, And, you know, as I said, since the first day I got here, you know, you get what you deserve. So, you know, we're really working hard to build some depth in the secondary. It's probably a little bit more unknown because of some of those guys just getting here. But I love their athleticism. You know, I love the direction like a Ricky Gibson is taking right now and just the confidence that he's playing with. But, you know, it's going to be a challenge, you know, to figure out who the best 4 or 5 DBs are, you know, particularly at the corner spot.
All right. Last one to Eric.
Kind of on that note of moving guys around a little bit, I may be wrong, but it looked like, you know, Christian Harrison, he's corner safety, it looked like he was a star today. Him and who were some others that maybe are moving around a little bit the first couple of days?
Yeah, Jordan Thomas is moving around. You know, we moved Boo Carter around. You know, all of those guys, quite honestly. You know, the freshmen, you know, like I told those guys, if they're the best players, you know, they're going to earn some playing time, if not start. But they got to earn it, you know. So we're trying to move guys around and figure out what their best position is. And obviously, again, as a coach, it's our job to figure out, you know, what their strengths and weaknesses are, you know, and put them in the best situations. Only way we can do that is if we move these guys around, you know, so that's what we're doing.
All right, thank you, Coach.
All right, appreciate you guys.